everybody, this is Wendy Fore from Cash Life Mastery, and you're joining me on Cash Life Mastery Social Juice, where today we're going to be talking about how to use Twitter tools to grow your business. So this is Twitter Tools for Newbies, and today our co-host is Keith Keller, and he is the Twitter King, and he is going to be filling us in. I believe, Keith, you said you had 10 tips today, or 10 tools, excuse me, that we can use on Twitter to help grow our business. So I am really looking forward to today because Twitter tools is something that a lot of people don't know about, don't know how to use. So this is going to be awesome.
I've got my list
here. Go ahead and
here.
tell everybody how to reach you, Keith, and then we'll get started.
Okay, so first things first, this series of podcasts is called Twitter Tips for Newbies. So if you want to know anything about anything that we've been talking about in this series, and we've done quite a few now, I want you to use the hashtag Twitter Tips for Newbies with the numeral 4, and all of the blogs and the podcasts and the videos and the transcripts will all be there in a line for you to take part in at your leisure, because you may not be able to come in live. But my name is Keith Keller, Keller, and my website is keithkeller.com.au. I have a completely free ebook there, no strings attached. Just a lovely 10-part series there. I recorded a podcast series a few weeks or years ago now, and I'm constantly updating that. So I've turned that into a book. It's completely free. And, of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Keith Keller. Howdy,
awesome.
Ian.
All right, awesome, Keith. So let's get started with the 10 tools, because I know everybody is dying to know.
Yeah. Well, look, I think, and feel free to actually write in the chat box here. I actually did some research this morning on a really lovely site called freshkey.com, which tells you the words that people are searching for in the universe of Google and Amazon and Bing, etc., etc. And I came up with a couple of key phrases. Now, I had to cull my list. I would have to know at least 20 really, really amazing Twitter tools. But I want to keep it to 10 because I don't want to overload you. So a couple of things that people want to know is they want to know about how to curate their Twitter feed. I've got a really good lead for that. They want to know about how to automate their Twitter feed. I've got a really good lead for that. They want to analyze what's working. I've got a really good lead for that. And they want to know, just in general, what are the best Twitter marketing tools? So I'm going to start at the beginning. So my favorite tool, this is the one I'm using every day, every single day, is a site called TweetReach. And it's tweetreach.com. And I'll tell you why I love it. There is an obsession, and I'm interested in your thoughts here, Wendy. There is an obsession with, how do I get more followers? I need more followers. I don't care if I know them, if I like them, if I chat to them. I just want that big number. I'll come back to that idea. Ian will talk about that in the after show party, hashtagify. I personally have not heard of that, but I'll try that out today. So tweetreach.com measures how many people are retweeting you, how many people are active in the Twitterverse today and are retweeting you and are consuming your content or have the potential to consume your content. Now, what I like is a concept called freemium, where there's a robust free version, which gives you a bit of a sample of what's available. And then for a monthly fee, you can upscale to the pro version. So what TweetReach does, TweetReach has a really robust freemium model. It measures the last 100 tweets in any 24-hour period, or longer if you're not tweeting very often, and it gives you a score. How many people retweeted me and how many followers do they have? tweetreach.com. Absolutely the coolest site. And if you want to, it's up to you, but if you want to, you can upscale and get a report for $20. It'll tell you everyone who's ever retweeted you up until, I think, a maximum of 15,000 tweets. Amazing. Wow. And it might be 1,500 tweets, but the point is that it gives you a very robust look at what's happened over the course of a week or 10 days rather than just one day. So I'm always going to be quoting this freemium model because I think it's important that when you're creating a tool, you've got to give people a bit of a look at it to build the trust. So my first tool is TweetReach. Have you heard of this site, Wendy? Have you heard of the concept of TweetReach?
Oh yes, I've heard of TweetReach.
Great. Well, I love it, and I want you to try it today. And my highest score so far is 3.4 million people had the potential to see my tweets on one day about 3 weeks ago. But I regularly reach 1 million and often reached 2 million.
Another site that is very, very similar to what you're saying is someall.com.
Oh, okay. Someall.com.
But it is a paid site now. They used to be free. They have just sent me a message saying that in the next 7 days, they are going to be a paid membership.
Okay. Okay. Well, so they've given you a bit of a free teaser, but now they're going to a paid version.
Yeah.
And one of the things I might mention is that if you're listening to this in any more than 4 weeks from now, any of these sites could have closed down, because they do. They change. They get bought out, or they change to a paid model. And that's obviously what's happened with someall.com. It's So my second one is Buffer. Now this is very, very important, because and I will talk about these other sites later as a favor to others. I personally don't use Hootsuite or TweetDeck, but I'm going to talk about them because other people use them a lot. I personally don't like them. But Buffer is my favorite site other than TweetReach. And I'll tell you why. It's simple, it's fast, it's affordable. There's a very, very robust, and I'm going to use that word a lot because it's important that they have a strong free model. You can actually tweet 10 times in your buffer. And if you want to think about it this way, imagine putting content in a bucket, and then you decide, every day at 3 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and 12 o'clock, I want you to take something from that bucket and throw it into the Twitterverse. It's a buffer, right? Now you can, for the free version, the actual website is bufferapp.com. But they're at Buffer on Twitter, and they have amazing, amazing blog posts. So basically, you come across a piece of content and you think, oh, I like this. I might tweet it now, but I might also send it out again tomorrow. Or you have your tweets scheduled so that they go out 3 or 4 times a day, and you've got them in a line. So I have the pro version. The pro version is $10. $10. That's all. $10 US. Which is about $18 Australian, depending on what side of the fence you're on any given day. And I'm only joking. I think it's $14 Australian, but still, it's a lot more. And what it does is, for $10 a month, you can have unlimited tweets in your buffer. Unlimited, never run out. So basically, you come across a piece of content, you cut and paste, you put it in your buffer. It takes about 10 seconds. Rather than, and this is how the other sites work. I know people who used to sit down for half a day and schedule out content for a week, and that idea makes me sick. I tried doing it. I tried sitting down and going,
a lot of us that have to manage their social media will use, like I use Sociocaster, which will manage my Facebook, my Twitter, and my LinkedIn account, so that way I can combine, So when you're combining, it's a little bit more useful than if you're just doing if you're just doing Twitter, then I would actually use Buffer. I like Buffer for Twitter. So
tell me about Sociocaster. How does it compare to, say, TweetDeck or Hootsuite? Why do you prefer it?
It's very similar to them, but I just like the way that it's laid out better. I can follow it better.
Yeah. And what's their model? Is there a free version and then a paid model, or is it straight to paid?
It's paid. It's a paid program that you buy.
And how much is it? A one-off fee or is it a monthly fee?
It's just a one-off. Honestly,
one-off fee.
Yeah, I bought it when they first came out, so I have no idea what they've gone up to now. But
that's a very reasonable. That idea of a one-off fee is a very reasonable alternative to the monthly ongoing fee idea.
Yeah.
If you only have to pay for something once, like Fresh Key, for instance, is $49.95 one-off fee. It's the best $50 I've ever spent, because Fresh Key allows me to check what people are checking for on Amazon and Google and Bing, and it allows me to check my blog posts and slightly smooth them around so that I can get traction on what people are looking for. No point blogging if no one's looking for what you're talking about. It's just a waste of time. So I'll check out Sociocaster. I've heard you talk about it, and I haven't had a chance to use it. But it's for a one-off fee. That's a very, very good idea. $39. That's pretty cool. So that's the second one. Buffer allows you to schedule your tweets, and this is what a lot of people are asking me about. Can I automate this process somehow? I'm so stressed by all this tweeting I have to do, all this interaction I have to do on all the sites. So I personally use Buffer. The third one I want to talk about, I don't know if you've heard of this one. I love this site. I love it. It's called TweepsMap, TweepsMap.com. And what it does, Tweeps, so TweePS MAP, TweepsMap. Now what it does is it tells you where your followers are. Now that's really important to me because only 8% of Aussies even like Twitter. 92% of people don't use Twitter in Australia. 92%, and about 88% of them really actively dislike it. If you ask any Australian in the street, they'll probably, knock you down, or at least say something very, very disparaging. So I can't make a living teaching Aussies about Twitter. I just can't. I just can't get Aussies excited. So this TweepsMap site allows me to work out, well, actually, 54% of my following is in LA or New York or America, in the US, in North America. So I'll hang out with them. They love it. They want to hear more. They're actually actively pursuing me to come and do speaking gigs and write blog posts and make videos for them and do all these sorts of things. So why go and try and bash your head against people that aren't listening when for, this site, which is really robust, free version, TweepsMap.com, tells you where all your sites are, where all your people are. I can tell you for sure 54% of my following is in the US, 8% is in Canada. I have more followers in India than in Australia. I have more followers in New Zealand than in Australia. I have more followers in LA than the whole of Australia. And I just need to have them.
Really important too, Keith, because, if you know where all your followers are, then that way you can schedule your tweets during their most beneficial time zone.
I'll go even deeper. This site is so cool. It goes even deeper. So when you sign up to get a test, you just go into TweepsMap.com and put in your Twitter handle and your email address, and it sends you a really robust graph. This is okay. Well, here's the graph. It looks really lovely, and 8% in Canada and 3% in South Africa. Then once a week, this is so cool. Once a week, it will send you an email to say, guess what happened this week? You got this many followers, and unfortunately, you got this many unfollowers. But this is the town, the actual city that got you the most this week. And this is the city that got you the least. So this week, Toronto really got me. So I now need to start tweeting for Toronto. I need to start tweeting in Toronto time rather than Austin, Texas, which didn't really get my stuff this week. They didn't like it. So it's only an hour's difference, I think, or 2 hours. But the point is that if I'm really, really, really thumping it in Toronto, but not so much in Austin, and I get a choice, oh, can you come to Austin? We'll pay you way, or can you come to Toronto? We'll do a gig. I've got a choice, I know. And this is what we're talking about today. We're talking about tools to help you decide where to spend your time. I could go to Austin, Texas, but they're not into me there. I could go to Toronto and I'd have 3 people lined up at the airport begging me to sleep on their couch. Because I've got good mates there, good mates in Toronto, and they would help me. We'd do a gig at the Holiday Inn and go to the TIFF, the Toronto International Film Festival, and I'd probably take me up to Niagara Falls. And it's a matter of managing your time. I'm exaggerating to make a point, but the point is you get an email in your inbox sent to you for free that tells you that in this week, Toronto was really thumping it with your material, so hang out there more. Now, they have a paid model, and I'm not exactly sure what it is. I think it's based on how many followers you have, that they charge you a monthly fee depending on your following level, but it's a very, very, very comprehensive site for lots and lots of stats. And so it has both. You can use it for free, but you can also use it to do other things. The fourth one, and this is very, very important in Twitter, jump in, Wendy, if you've got anything you want to add on that idea of TweepsMap.
Nope. Go ahead.
No?
Number 4.
So visuals are very important on Twitter. I'm going to put that in capitals, and I'll say it again, put it on reverb, say it, shout it at the top of the Empire State Building. Visuals are very important on Twitter. So a very, very cool site called TwitShot, TwitShot, has made it really, really simple for you to share visuals.
TwitShot.com.
Okay. What it does is you just simply paste in the URL of the actual site that you want to look at, and it will suck out all of the visuals that are on that page for you, and create a tweet, and you just pick the shot you like. Now, before this, you used to have to go to, your bank of videos or photos, and you had to go to some really lovely site, and you had to find a photo, and it was really, really time consuming. Yeah, really, really time consuming. So this one, TwitShot, which actually is free. I don't even think they have a paid upscale. I just haven't worked out how to even pay them any money. I don't think there's anywhere maybe they want to be bought out, like TweetDeck was or something, and just get sold down the line. But the point is, it's a lovely site, twitshot.com. It allows you, and you probably notice if you see my feed, that almost all of my tweets now have visuals in them, because the stats are ballistic. I think something like 300% more engagement on tweets with, and I tried this experiment, 300% more.
And I think that too, that it really, in any social media nowadays, the visuals are becoming more and more important. I'm just wondering, with this TwitShot, is there any way to tell if like a picture does better than a video on Twitter?
It doesn't allow you to add video.
Okay.
It only allows you to add pictures, but I do know that videos do perform better. That's a totally different discussion. I know that for sure. Videos are the highest performing ad on Twitter. If you can add a little video from your camera, if you can add a GIF.
I think that's for all social media nowadays. Video is king. So
video really is king. And this is one of the reasons I love Blab so much. This is one of the reasons I love Blab so much. This format is very authentic for me. I love speaking. I love talking. But I love talking in a conversational way. I personally don't resonate with Periscope or Meerkat or Facebook Live or even Snapchat. But I know those formats are really popular. I mean, extremely popular if you really want to do that. So the fourth one I want to talk about is Hootsuite. I want to talk about Hootsuite only to be fair to them. Are we on number 5? Is that what I said? Number 5, yeah. I want to talk about Hootsuite quickly because I want to give it homage because millions of people love it. I personally don't love it, but it's very robust. It's pretty. It's got a fairly robust free version, and it's very cheap to upscale. It allows you to use all of your social media sites, and it's about, I think, $7.95 a month US, $15 Australian, I guess. I don't know what it is. But
$9.95 last time I used it.
I personally find it very clunky, but I know lots and lots of people that love it. So just to be fair on everyone, I think you need to at least try it. Here's what I love. I love Gremln. Now, Gremln is exactly the same. Gremln without an I is exactly the same as Hootsuite, but for some reason, I just prefer that flavor. It's exactly the same. I think the cost structure is the same, and there's a robust free version. And I just seem to like the colors better. The functionality is better. It's identical. It's the Pepsi Cola versus Coca-Cola idea. Identical. But try that one and see what you think. It's easy to use, and you can use it for free. Here's one you may not have heard of, although it's more commonly used as an app. CrowdFire. The most common use of CrowdFire is to create those really, 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 in capital letters, spammy DMs that say, "Hello, thank you for following. I've got an ebook," via CrowdFire. "Hello, I know you don't know me and you hate DMs, but here's a little present for you." Okay, you've just saved a heap of time. I want you to promise me, anyone listening to this show, that you will stop doing that because it's wrong. It's wrong. Everyone hates it. Everyone hates it. Other than the people that are doing it because they're saving time, everyone hates automatic DMs. That's not technically true. Not everyone hates them. Some people don't mind them, but no one loves them. You know?
I think
so I want you
it's how you set up your automatic DM. Because if you use it to say hello, thank you for following me, I appreciate you, and you're not pushing something to them immediately upon them joining you on Twitter, I think it's a little bit more acceptable. So it's how you use that automatic DM to me.
Right, I'm happy for you to have that a thought, and I'm not going to argue with you in the public forum, but that's not my opinion. I hate them. I hate everything about them. I hate everything about them. And I want everyone in the world to stop using them. But of course, some people like using them, and that's okay. It's not a dictatorship. It's just a suggestion. But what CrowdFire does, and this is what I want to mention about CrowdFire, what CrowdFire does really, really well is it tells you who has unfollowed you in the last week. And that can be handy to know if you notice your numbers are going up and skew and funny, and you're thinking, hang on, last week I had 600 followers and now I've got 540 followers. Why is that? People are unfollowing me. Who are they? And that gives you an indication as, look, am I tweeting too much? Am I talking too much rubbish? Am I not tweeting enough? Am I tweeting too much spammy stuff? And it gives you a chance again to track what's working. What most commonly happens is people will follow you and then unfollow you after 3 days, and that doesn't bother me at all. But it's when people unfollow me they've already been engaged, and you think, oh geez, what did I do wrong? Did I offend them? And sometimes I even contact them to say, did I do something wrong? Was that an accident? Did you hit the button by mistake, or did I piss you off? And if so, let me know, because I don't want to piss you off. I want to do the right thing. So it's a way of managing your Twitter feed so that you can have engaged conversations with really, really cool people. It also does.
Knowing about
I love that feature. I love that feature. I know we're getting.
Right, so what number are we on now?
We're on number 8.
Number 8.
Now, a lot of people talk about curation. How can I make my Twitter feed look like something else, like a newspaper, or how can I curate it so that it looks really lovely? Now, my favorite site for this is Paperli. There's a number of these: Storify, Feedly. There's 100 of these, but Paperli, PAPER.LI, or at @paper_lee on Twitter. They create PAPER.LI. And if you want to see this done, really, really well, I want you to go to this site, Twitter for Creatives, because I created one. I like doing this. I like creating little demos. Twitter for Creatives is my Paperli. Now it has two. Again, it's the premium model. You can have it for free forever, but there's ads on the side and you can't put in a banner. But for $9 a month, you can add your own banner and you get lots of more functionality, and you can take out the ads and put in your own ad for your ebook or for your event or for your blab. And so it's just a matter of deciding whether that's a good spend, $9 a month. Paperli, and go to Twitter for Creators, always with the numeral 4, Twitter for Creatives. And so that's number 8. Is that number 8?
Yep. Number 8. Number 9 is a site that's very, very important, very, very important if you want to check on whether people are fair income. Have you ever wondered, has that person really got 845,000 followers? I mean, I've never heard of them. How do they get 845,000 followers? I've never heard of them. Maybe I'm just not in that loop, But Kred.com allows you to score someone out of 1,000 based on their credibility. Credibility with a K. So basically, my score, I'm very proud of this. It's 945 out of 1,000. So I'm 94.5% a real person. The other time I'm sleeping or hanging out in my jammies. And then there's another score that gives you what's called the index, the shareability index. They call it the outreach score.
So Kred is very similar to Clout with a K, but Clout's out of 100. This one, and as I said, my score is 945 over 10. You need to probably check this out a bit more because it's a really, really robust site. It's really hard to navigate. But what it does is it gives you a credibility factor. So if you come across someone and you want to do JV with them and you're thinking, look, I'm not convinced they didn't buy those followers. Because you can buy followers like for $59, 100,000. I mean, I'm not convinced they're really talking the real talk. It gives you a score out of 1,000. My score is 945. And it gives you a score out of 12. My score is 10. And what that means is how often do they share? How nice are they in the Twitterverse? Are they just talking about me, or do they sometimes share? And that means that 12 times, out of every 12 tweets that I do, 10 of them I share for others. Now, that's about right. I'm always sharing. But if you come across someone with a score of 800 over 4, you might think, well, they're quite popular, but they never share anyone's stuff. It's an incredibly useful site, a bit high level. Now, the last one. This is, and I had to torture myself because I had to give up so many others. We probably haven't got time to go into honorable mentions. This site, TweetJukeBox. Have you heard of this, TweetJukeBox?
Yes.
It's a very cool site. It's actually quite similar to Buffer. I don't think it's as good as Buffer, but I will mention it for a couple of reasons. One is jukeboxes are, again, like these buckets. But what you can do is you can have 2 buckets, 2 jukeboxes for free, and you can segment things. So if you might want to tweet a quote once a day, and Twitter's got to know where to take that tweet from. And you might want to tweet about your events once a day, and Twitter's got to know where to take that tweet from. So they've set up this idea called juke boxes. You get 2 juke boxes for free, and it's already set up pre-conditioned for the jukebox number 1's just chock-a-block full of quotes. If you just turn your tweet jukebox on, it will tweet twice a day cool quotes. You don't have to do anything. But I think it's $10 a month. You can have, I think it might be unlimited jukeboxes. So you might want a jukebox for events. You might want a jukebox for blabs. You might want a jukebox for quotes. You might want a jukebox for other people's tweets that are not yours, which is what other people's mean. And that's an interesting story because, you know, when you get this ratio right, you might think, you know, okay, once a day, I'm going to tweet my favorite quote from my favorite Twitter dude. But you've got to tell Twitter what to do. And this is a very, very handy way to segment your list. And these tools, all of the 10 that we've tweeted about today, and I'm going to put this into a very, very, very comprehensive blog post, is a way of managing your social media experience. In particular, we're talking about Twitter today. Is that helpful, Wendy? Do you think there's anything you'd like to cover off? Because I've gone on a bit.
But I mean, there are just so many tools, and it's probably almost to the point now that there's so much out there that we could be using. We need to like almost have a blab about how to break down and use each one. But the point of today, guys, is just to let you guys know, you know, what's out there for you to go and investigate and see what works best for your Twitter feed. Yeah. So, you know, like Keith says, there's like so many more. So maybe on another blab, we'll try to bring you some more Twitter tools at another date that we haven't covered today. But it's like I said, go out there and start investigating them. I mean, that's what we've done the research. We've given you the links. So go out and start checking into them and see, you know, what works for you. Like Keith said, some of them are free. Some of them are, you have to pay for the service, but it seems like most of them are very, very reasonable. And that will help you grow your business and grow your business quicker. So, guys, we're going to wrap up the podcast right now. Keith, tell everybody how to reach you, and we'll get going.
Okay, so I'm on Twitter, of course, Keith Keller, KeithKeller. I really do want you to go and get my free ebook. It is completely free. KeithKeller.com.au. I'm very proud of that. I put a lot of work into that, and a lot of what I've chatted about today is there. And please follow the hashtag Twitter Tips for Newbies.
Awesome, Keith. Thank you. And my name is Wendy Fore from Cash Life Mastery, and you've been joining Cash Life Mastery Social Juice. And if you want to reach out to me, you can reach me on Cash Life Mastery on Facebook. Message me there, and I will message you right back. We do business coaching, social media, and I can't talk today, an animated video, guys. So let us know your needs, and we'll be glad to help you. Just send us a message. And we will see you on Blab on Thursday, 1:30 p.m. for our blogging training. So, guys, make sure you join us on Cash Life Mastery Social Juice for blogging, 1:30 on Thursday, and that's Eastern Time, guys. Have a great one, and make sure you join us back Monday night, 7 p.m. for more Twitter business information. Have a great one, guys.
See you later.